Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
It was the first real test of the season. Big rain overnight, and now we're getting answers from MDOT about how the pumps held up after a lot of rain. We'll start there today at 5. Metro Detroiters, of course, understandably on edge after last year's historic flooding, and commuters may have got up today expecting the worst.
But overall, it was good news, except for a few trouble spots. Let's get out to Sean Lay. He's live tonight. Sean, what is MDOT telling you about it tonight?
They're telling us 90% of all trouble spots this morning due to this. Look, here's a point I'm trying to make. The grocery cart up here on John R. near the Davison. And look at this. These are the things that people are leaving in the street or throwing in the street. This drain is packed with trash. The great drain right across the street packed with grass clippings. A lot of that stuff makes its way down to the drains on the freeways, and water starts building up. Local 4 cameras are out on area freeways to see how freeway drains and MDOT freeway pumps are performing after our first significant rainfall here in June. It was almost 1 year ago, June 26th. A massive rainstorm came down. Power was knocked out to those freeway pumps. Dozens of drivers got stuck in flooded freeways. MDOT spent the past year working on improving response time to get portable generators out to power those pumps so you don't get stuck. It's a never-ending cycle in the summer.
We know it's going to happen. We know we're going to get more water. We're going to get more rain, more runoff. And again, our low-lying freeways, we can't do anything about the low-lying freeways. We can increase the maintenance and increase the chances of having power at a pump station to pull that water off the freeway.
Today, MDOT tells us overnight power was not lost and its pumps performed well. The major issue, however, 90% of high water on roads and freeways this morning was caused by litter. Tons of litter. Everything and anything that's clogging drain after drain. Drains on streets pull that trash down to drains on freeways, and the water starts to back up. Crews are cleaning the hundreds of drains before the rain hits, but crews simply can't catch up with the staggering amount of litter on the streets. MDOT putting out the word tonight. They say they put out the word every year. If you don't want to get your car stuck in high water on a freeway, or if you don't want to be delayed because of a traffic backup because of high water on a freeway, they're urging everyone not to throw trash into the streets because that stuff makes its way down to the drains and clogs them. Kimberly, Devin, back to you.
Sean, I know MDOT told you that some highway drains were covered on purpose. What was that all about?
Through construction zones for environmental reasons, they have to cover those drains so none of that material goes down either. So they had to deal with a little bit of high water in those areas.
Yeah, okay. Sean, thanks.
And after a wet, gloomy start to the day, the clouds have parted a bit. Take a live look outside right now. Well, trust me, right now outside it is glorious. There we are. How about that for a postcard shot?
Yeah, it really is a nice shot.
In for a nice finish to this Tuesday.
Let's get on over to Andrew for our first look at the forecast. Hi, Andrew.
I had to clean that camera lens for you.
Thank you.
Make sure those skies were clear, all right? Well, we eventually see a lot of sunshine right now, which is wonderful. Look at all of the rain that fell across much of the area, and a pretty even distribution of 1 to 2 inches, even more of rain that fell earlier this morning. Liquid sunshine fell to the amount of 2.12 inches over in Ann Arbor. That was one of the higher amounts, just over 2 inches in Grosse Pointe. Same thing in parts of the city of Detroit. Over at City Airport, just under 2 inches, but well over 1.5 inches from Saline to Morenci to Livonia. We are rain-free right now. Mostly cloudy skies, but partly sunny in some areas as well. Where we're seeing the sunshine, that's where it's above 70 degrees. Pontiac's at 70, 72 over at City Airport. A little cloudier in Port Huron with 68. There's another view of downtown Detroit with that beautiful sunshine and some fair weather clouds with 71 over at Metro Airport. But over the next 24 hours, another chance of rain exists. We'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Hey, Andrew, thank you. Late this afternoon, the FDA's vaccine advisory panel voted in favor of authorizing a new COVID-19 vaccine option.
21 yes votes, 1 abstention in support of the new vaccine from Novavax. It comes after a day of debate and discussion over whether another vaccine is even needed right now. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge has been following today's meeting and joins us with the highlights. Doc?
Yeah, Kim and Devin. So, what makes Novavax different than the other vaccines is that it's made using a more traditional method. That's one that's already used to make other vaccines in use, including the hepatitis B and the shingles vaccine. Today, Novavax made the case that its shot may appeal to some of the 27 million Americans who remain unvaccinated.
A recent Ocugen Harris poll found that 73% of Americans would like additional COVID-19 vaccines developed from a more traditional method.
The FDA agreed Novavax could help fill that gap.
We do have a problem with vaccine uptake that is very serious in the United States, and anything we can do to get people more comfortable to be able to accept these potentially life-saving medical products is something that we feel we are compelled to do.
Novavax is given as 2 doses 3 weeks apart. It contains lab-grown pieces of the spike protein and an immune-boosting ingredient or adjuvant that's made from the bark of a South American tree.
We achieved our primary efficacy endpoint in the study with 90% protection from mild, moderate, and severe disease.
But those studies were conducted before the Omicron variant.
It is disappointing, and we've discussed this already, that we don't have more updated information because we're looking at the efficacy against strains that don't exist any longer.
There are questions about a potential risk of myocarditis.
6 vaccine recipients reported myocarditis and or pericarditis.
Novavax argued there was insufficient evidence those cases were caused by the vaccine, but the committee urged the FDA to acknowledge that concern in the vaccine's labeling. Now, Novavax is studying a separate vaccine that specifically targets the Omicron variant, and they have also launched a trial analyzing the benefits of using Novavax as a booster for those who have already received an mRNA vaccine. And initial results are expected later this year. A discussion from the FDA on authorizing Novavax is expected very soon. That is a decision.
And in fact, Frank, this is just the start of what's going to be a very busy month for the FDA's advisors, right?
Yeah, you know, on the 14th and 15th, the panel is going to review the data on vaccines for children under age 5. That's a highly anticipated meeting. Then on the 28th, they're going to meet to discuss whether the vaccines should be updated to include more recent variants, and if so, which strains should be included in the boosters for the fall when cases are expected to again surge.
Yeah. All right, Doc.
All right, now to new developments in the battle to block enforcement of Michigan's 1931 abortion law. The Michigan legislature says it plans to step in as the defendant and fight to keep that law in place if Roe gets overturned. Megan Woods is live tonight. Megan, this was thought to be over, but not so.
Yeah, I mean, until yesterday, that's when the legislature made a motion to intervene in Planned Parenthood's lawsuit. And now Attorney General Dana Nessel is standing her ground. She says she's planning not to enforce Michigan's abortion ban if Roe versus Wade is overturned.
It is highly unusual.
But it is a game changer. Legal analyst and former U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuaid says Planned Parenthood's lawsuit was intended to stop the enforcement of Michigan's 1931 law that would make abortion a felony if Roe versus Wade was overturned.
The plaintiffs, Planned Parenthood in this case, won their initial injunction by default. I mean, they won on the merits, but there was no opposing party there to argue the other side. And so now that was just a preliminary ruling, but now the Michigan legislature will be there. They'll hire a lawyer to represent them.
A judge has to make a decision on whether the parties have a real interest at stake to intervene.
I would think the legislature is such a party. This is a statute they passed.
Michigan Republican lawmakers are speaking out. State Representative Pamela Hornberger of the 32nd District called the lawsuit phony, illegitimate, and outrageous, saying, quote, as the people's representatives, the legislature has a responsibility to intervene to defend our law. We will use every tool at our disposal to defend Michigan law and protect the life of the unborn. On the other end, Attorney General Dana Nessel said, quote, while many of my colleagues in the legislature want to strip women of their rights, I will continue to protect women's reproductive health and their fundamental right to make decisions over their own bodies. And again, the biggest factor in all of this is the Supreme Court's ruling on Roe versus Wade, and that decision is expected later this month or early July. I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
We'll continue to follow it, Megan. Thank you.
Actor Matthew McConaughey visiting the White House today, making an emotional plea for Congress to act on gun control.
The Oscar winner is from Uvalde, Texas, where 19 children and 2 teachers were shot and killed at school last month.
These regulations are not a step back. They're a step forward for a civil society and the Second Amendment. Look, is this cure-all? Hell no. But people are hurting. Families are, parents are. And look, as divided as our country is, this gun responsibility issue is one that we agree on more than we don't.
Lawmakers in both the House and Senate are meeting on potential legislation. Ahead at 5:30, we'll go to Washington with a look at what's on the table.
Gas prices up another 12 cents just today, over the past 24 hours. According to AAA, we are paying an average of $5.17 a gallon today, so 56 cents higher than a week ago, 86 cents higher than a month ago. Right now, 13 states are above the $5 mark. That number is climbing, though, of course, states primarily on the West Coast, in the Northeast, and now in the Midwest.